Hi, Zizaran here with another update on the bees build. So this is Summon Raging Spirits, and it ended up being my league starter for this league. So the very first thing I did, and it was great. I went SRS basically around Blood Aqueduct. You can start doing it a lot earlier, and it's great for like bosses and using the I believe it's called Infernal Legion. It is in fact Infernal Legion, and what it does is it makes your minions take damage, and if you have minion instability, that causes an explosion. So that's what I started as a league starter, and I did do this build last league as well before the minion buff. And the only reason that I ever wanted to play this build was probably because of the skin creating bees. And that's just a great theme, I think. So very fun build. Now Infernal Legion itself, it's pretty hard to scale and it doesn't do a lot of damage, so that's something I did eventually drop. But yeah, great build. I kept it for the entire league start, and it was solo self on hardcore, by the way. So very budget, and I kept it all the way up till Shaper. And basically as soon as I killed Shaper and I was done with like the main bosses I wanted to kill, I switched to specters. And that was mainly because the race was so close, and I didn't like, when you're playing this build, you can see in the background that you have to stop and cast, right? You have to, even if you're using a leash, so you cast 4 summon raging spirits instead of 1 every time, you do have to stand still and cast. Specters don't have this problem. They like, especially with the budget and the items I'd found, I didn't have like the specter soul leader jewel, whatever, the unending hunger, whatever that's called. I didn't have that, so I was a little bit scared of switching, but you know, just the fact that I could only shield charge, I could just run and curse if I really needed that, was so much better than having to actually cast the summon raging spirits, and that's why I swapped. But I do actually enjoy the bees build a lot more, so I did remake that, and that's what we have here now. And I want to show you guys a little bit on the current character that I'm playing. So it's Zizaran bees with 4 E's, level 91 character currently, and now it's on trade league, so it does have more stuff on it. And from the league start build, we've had a lot of questions, a lot of people have been asking things, so I want to like go over some of those things and show you guys what we've been doing. So the gear is fairly simple. I've been basically just getting the +1 skill gems things with then just crafted shit. And here I have triggered socketed skills. So I have a flesh offering. Basically, it's just, instead of like having to cast flesh offering by clicking T, which I did on my first character, now it's automated, like, and it'll cast when I'm doing SRS. So really big quality of life there. Obviously I'm losing so damage, but so much crazy damage anyway, so it doesn't really matter. I did, and this is a good thing to like talk about and warn you guys. I did use this is one of the ones I used before. A big problem with this is that this had fire damage to spells, and that meant that my storm man would deal fire damage, so I had to not have elemental equilibrium for a while. What I did instead is I used Wave of Conviction with Curse on Hit at the time, but I'm very low on links and stuff, so it's been hard fitting everything, and I kind of do want a second Unset Ring. I've thought about sorry, I've also thought about doing an unending hunger and putting zombies or specters in that, and then using a Comb's Heart. That should, with optimal gear and everything, be able to maybe hit 10k, but at least 9k, because I had 8.1k on my last character with no Comb's Heart, so we should be able to do that. I'm not currently using a Victorious Charity. That is an option, but I would rather just have 2+1 minion skill gems. I feel like that works really good for the build, and especially since my main focus in this build is on the SRS, which aren't alive very long. You can see here that like they do die fairly quickly, so I don't really have a good ability to get frenzy charged on them fast enough. One thing I want to clear up real quick, because this gets asked every 3 seconds or something in every build that ever has one. So many people keep asking, Zizaran, why are you using a Victorious Charity with no necromantic Aegis? And if you read the final line on the shield, it says 5% chance to grant a frenzy charge to nearby allies on hit. That means that if you're using ball lightning, which you would do in most of the builds using one like specters and stuff, you're using the ball lightning for you doing elemental equilibrium, you're using the ball lightning for cursing, and you're also using the ball lightning because it hits so often that you're mostly keeping all your allies up to date on frenzy charges. So you don't need to do the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 points for Necro. Now there are some people that take leadership, so they are already next to this node. Then it's fine. You can definitely be lazier, but generally, if like there are a lot of guides out there and stuff that'll actually stretch the leaderships just because of Necro. I don't think it's worth it. It's 6 points or like 9 if you're taking leadership. Don't particularly feel like it's worth it. You should 100% be able to keep up the frenzy charges just by doing ball lightning. So like we have so much damage anyway. That's like 6 or 9 points you can put into survival. Like there's no need for more than like, how many shapers per second do you need? So definitely not worth it in my opinion. Now the power charges you don't get because you're probably never going to kill anything. Even if you have Culling Strike, it's not enough to keep it up. So you are missing out on 150% crit strikes on your minion, but you're probably not doing crit minions anyway, so it's not really that big of a deal. So yeah, not worth it. And by not having the Necro, you can get up to 70 life and 30 lightning rest and 11 chaos rest. So obviously you lose that too when you do Necro. So that's like my thoughts on that. In my opinion, it is a terrible node to take. Would never really take it. So that's that. Chest wise, as I said, I do want to have a Comb's Heart, or at least a better chest. I would love getting like a nice pristine chest. Maybe using serrated fossils too, so I can get like Maim. But I'm not converting these to elemental right now, and I'm currently using zombies. You can use like 6 specters as well. Currently I am using 3 monkey specters, so I have 2 carnage apes and 1 host ape. Very hard to tell them apart with this skin, but they are different, I swear. So we have different monkeys, and 2 of them give frenzy charges and 1 of them give power charges. So my zombies are mostly always charge capped, and some of the SRS, even though they do die quickly, they do get charges now and again as well. Now I am currently not using an Infernal Legion gem at all. So I'm only using a Tavukai. Now in SSF, obviously I didn't have access to a Tavukai. It's really hard to get. So this is currently what I'm using, and the role that I prioritize is the minus 16 chaos rest. Minus 17 would be better, and I would obviously love to get more max life. The duration doesn't matter at all. I only care about the damage and the minion life here, and then the rest obviously. Too scared to corrupt it. The reason that I can use no Infernal Legion them, and they do die very quickly with an Infernal Legion. So let's say we take away combustion, and then you can see here that they die very quickly, sometimes too quickly. With this fast dying, they can sometimes not get to targets. Obviously this would be pretty nice quality of life for boss killing, but we do lose a lot of damage. So I'm using combustion here. Might be better to use LE focus and have combustion on something else, like I don't know, flame dash. But anyway, I want to walk through a little bit more. This is part of the reason why they're dying so fast, because this is Fortress Covenant, so lots of nice stats. It's 40% damage, 10% block to attacks and spells for the minions that actually do care about keeping alive, and then more importantly, notable passives in the radius are transformed instead grant minions take 20% increased damage. And I got very excited as soon as I saw this, because I knew that now I can kill things so much faster with the Tabukai. And this is a great cluster to put it in, because we get the 40% increased damage taken here. And you know what? This node isn't actually too bad for us to lose. I don't really care about losing an extra Spectre, right? I'm only using that for my bloody Frenzy Monkeys anyway. Skeletons? Not using skeletons. And zombies? Yeah, it sucks to lose one zombie, but you know what? It's for the greater good. And obviously none of the other nodes are affected, and they're all really good anyway. Probably gonna take this next, actually. So that is like what I've currently got. I do have a Ravenous Horde Anointed. It is a bit of a pain to travel there, especially if you're Specters. Like the travel nodes are pretty good. Like you are getting like 18% movement speed here. So I do quite like it, but it's fairly cheap to annoying. There is a unleash node. I can't remember what it's called. It's here in Path of Building. It's basically your unleash gets +1 charge. That means that every time you right click, you would summon 5 SRS instead of the 4 that we're currently summoning. I think I'm just gonna keep this. I just have so much damage. If anything, I would maybe like to grab a life node. Like Herbalism's great and fairly cheap. Actually, I'm pretty sure I can do that now. Can I? Oh, do I have a green, silver? Yeah, I can do that right now. So I'm very tempted to just do a life node. I have so much damage. Like I don't even have my proper endgame helmet yet. I'm still missing. Ideally, I would like 20 minion damage, and I would love a 20 minion life as well. So this is a nice Herald of Agony helmet because that doesn't need minion life. But this is the current stuff that I have. And yeah, everything's just dying, dude. I'm a little bit low on life, so I do want to sort that out. But obviously I'm only level 91 and I've got pretty cheap gear. So the main upgrades, obviously I would like a better helmet for the damage. Tavakai doesn't have any life on it. So again, that's why another 10% life would be beautiful. My boots are not particularly great. They only have 58 life, so definitely want to replace them. Although they do have a lot of movement speed, so that's nice. Decent Vermilion ring. I mean, it does give me like 400 life, and it's got Chaos Res on it, always handy. Okay belt and an okay jewel. Now, I want to talk a little bit about the jewel here. So on my zombies, I actually have elemental army. So this is making them do a little bit less damage than they probably could. Part of why getting maim would be a really nice pickup, because then they would be 6.5 linked. But the strategy behind this is that my zombies are only dealing fire damage from this jewel, right? So that 2 to 3 fire damage is making them do 10% exposure for my main single target damage, which are these raging spirits, and they are just blowing things up. So crazy good damage, and hopefully we can get some footage of killing things. But even if you saw on like what do I really want to do in the video is have the solo self and shaper kill at some point, because it just looked really great. I felt so comfortable doing all the guardians. They were just like bang 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 bang, and then shaper bang. This would be a great thing to clip and put in. But very happy with how the build performed on such a low budget in SSF. So that's why I'm like stretching so far just to get life. Next 2 nodes here. I mean, I could respec some like 5% nodes and pick up Bloodless instead. But I should be able to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more life nodes at least, and then maybe anoint one. So ideally would quite like to get 9 or 10k life on this build. I don't really have particularly great jewels. Mostly what I've been trying to pick up is life, and then either minion life or minion damage. It's very hard to get both. Very hard to get 3 stats for this build. So this one's kind of garbage. I do want to replace that. But you can see like the trend. Yeah, they have terrible jewels, and it's still like banging stuff down very hard. For flasks, I've been pretty lazy with rolling them. Follow what's in the original guide. I really should fix my flask. And I'm just leveling more gems. I do want to get a 2120 SRS because the minion speed is pretty big. So yeah, again, like I recommend in the guide, upgrading these pantheons are very important. See if there's anything else that I've missed. I can go over my gem setups real quick as well. So for auras, I am using skitterbots, and I am using aspect of the spider. Now, a lot of people keep asking me why I'm using skitterbots, and that is an excellent question. So basically what skitterbots do, skitterbots will go around chilling and shocking all your enemies around them. So especially in sending as bosses, because you're getting a free 20% shock. So a lot of damage there, and chilling them as well for more damage. So because of the chill from the skitterbots, you could technically use hypothermia instead of combustion and try to fit combustion somewhere else, like for example on your flame dash or something, and it's a little bit much upkeep just to get a little bit more damage. It's not really worth it. I like this setup. It's lazy and it's nice, and it kills everything in the game. So yeah, that's like the auras I'm using. Those 3 aspect of the spider is 15% more damage. You have Animate Guardian, and the gear on the Animate Guardian is a Dying Breath, which I believe I have one of here. So that is nearby allies gain 18% increased damage, and nearby enemies have 18% increased effect of curses on them. So it's pretty great to have on the Animate Guardian. I'm using a Leer cast. I don't think I have one here, but we can show one. And it's basically another aura damage thing. Obviously, the more of these things we have, the less efficient they are, but still, it's pretty great to have. We have a Victorious Flight. I also don't have one of those. I don't know why, but we'll show it in the background. And that is basically just movement speed, which obviously we want for clearing more. And then I'm using a Belly of the Beast on a Southbound. So Southbound is just for life as well. They're up to 16% increased max life of the Animate Guardian, and that's like the stat you want the most. Like, I remember once upon a time reading a guide saying, oh my god, you need to get a Comb's Heart because it's so worth it. It's expensive, but it's so worth it. And I was like, this guy has no idea what he's talking about, because a Comb's Heart for an Animate Guardian will take its life from, say, 60,000 and yeah, just 60,000 to 60,500, whereas a Belly of the Beast or a Blood Bond would take it from 60,000 to 75,000, because it's percentage based, and that's what you want, as much percentage life as you can. And you do want to try to rest this, cap it too. I sometimes do that on boots, but I've actually found that keeping it alive with just Meat Shield has been really good. It makes it stay close to you, and it doesn't go anywhere near the Blight stuff. As long as you're alive, it's probably alive. And they do have quite a lot of life. I'm not sure how much mine has. Mine's got 45,000, so I don't have that crazy gear. I think my Belly of the Beast one died because I didn't have a Meat Shield thing on. And I'm pretty sure I am using an Unboost charge or something right now. So I do want a new chest to give it a little bit extra life. But at least you have some good options there. So that's the Animate Guardian. Other setups, just like the normal. I'm just using Stormbrand for Curse on Hit. It's mostly for single target. I don't need damage for anything else. And then normal links there. Already shown the zombies one. And then the race specters just with elemental army, the Carrion Golem, and blood magic. So the reason for blood magic is just to make these specters fire off like more frenzy charges and power charges. But it is definitely helpful. So we can just do a quick map here and show that in case we didn't have that much other footage. So pretty happy with the build. And then I can talk a little bit about it as well. We're using bone armor. Bone armor is actually great, and it sort of stacks with your Vile Molten Shell. So the way it works is if I pop bone armor, you can see that at the top here it's giving me 2,200 life, and I can still cast Vile Molten Shell, which is obviously insane. So now I pop both of them, and that's giving me an additional 7k life. So with both of those up, we have 14k life. It's pretty hard to die. So I actually have forgotten to summon zombies, and I was wondering why the clear seemed a little bit weird. So we're just going to summon those up. As you can see, just the SRS on their own are doing a pretty great job of clearing. And the monkey and the Animate Guardian don't really do anything, so sadly we only have 9. But yeah, you should see clear go up now. I guess this is a nice demonstration of the differences in having your zombies out or not. And like I said, if you don't want to have the curse, or sorry, the frenzy charge monkeys, there's nothing wrong with probably trying out some specters. Solar guards are very popular, and so are the slave drivers. So the solar guards you get in the Solaris Temple here. I'll show you. Solaris Temple, you can desecrate them there. And then the slave drivers, I actually never used them myself, but as I remember, they're in the slave plans. And remember to use your corpse targeting if you don't know how that works. For example, now I'm holding corpse targeting, which is A for me. You can change it in your configuration in the options. And it basically lets you specify what you want to summon. And Blight is really, really easy with this as well. I'm just not going to do it because I don't want to make the video very long. But yeah, you like every Blight, we just literally just sit there and hold right click. It is amazing. So that is pretty great. Other than that, I think that's like pretty much the entire build. You can literally see when the SRS explode, because I'm pretty sure one did like 90% of the boss life there. So that's pretty much the build. I hope you guys enjoy it. If you have any questions, if I've somehow left something out, drop by my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Zizaran. Hope you guys enjoy the guides, all the content. I'm about to go to TwitchCon, so I will not be streaming that much the next coming days. I have actually been invited to some like Twitch Rivals tournaments. So I'm doing one on Friday for Fortnite, which is a game I haven't played in a long time. But not gonna lie, the prize pool is really big, and it's a game I've played quite a bit. So you know, got a shot, right? And then Saturday I'm gonna be doing Teamfight Tactics, which is a game I've been playing a lot more off stream. You guys don't like watching me play that, but still do play that as well. And then Apex, which is probably my favorite game out of the three, and something I play regularly. Only like Diamond, but gotta shoot your shot, especially when you can earn some money for your house. So yeah, and if you guys enjoy what I do and my content, you can check out various ways of supporting me below in the description. And I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching, and try to die less than I do.